What we'll do is I'll give a brief introduction because we're studying a new book today, and then we can get started. Yeah. We offered prayers and we just started recording. So let me show you how the physical book looks like. You are seeing this only. You can see. Can you see the screen? Can you see the cover of the book? Yeah. This is how it looks like. Can you guys see the screen or not coming? Oh, see somebody's chat. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Good. This also books is my hand. Oh, it's showing reverse in the picture, I think. Yeah. It's also book. Okay. Basically, I'll give some background about this book. This is a book, the way many of you, most of you probably know that Sri Prabhupada, before he came to US, he prepared himself in India to preach to Indians, and he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto translation and purports like that. Yeah. So while he was living in Vrindavana for several years, he was living there. So he got an opportunity where he got invited to a conference that is being done in International Religious Conference in Japan. The name of the title of the conference is Congress for Cultivating the Human Spirit. So that is the name of the conference. Congress for Cultivating the Human Spirit. Interesting title of a religious conference. So this was while he was in Vrindavan in 1961, it is described. So when he got this opportunity uh, to go to Japan for an international religion conference on this topic, then what he did is he wrote a essay or a series of essays to which later came as a book like this. His thought process was like this: he's going to Japan. Japan, Japan, China. These people are called Oriental area. So these Oriental people, they love hearing descriptions about nature, mountains, rivers, sky, cloud, like that. So he understood that. And that is a general disposition of those people there living in Japan like that. Number one. Number two, he wanted to give the essence of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam in a simple format by comparing with metaphors using nature. So he took a chapter from Srimad Bhagavatam. Most of you know Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a sequel to Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the 18 Mahapuranas, is the best of all the Puranas and the essence of all Vedic literature. That Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, it has a 12 cantos. Out of them, the 10th canto describes the qualities and activities of Lord Krishna directly. So that activities and nature of Lord Krishna, there is one chapter, 20th chapter of 10th canto, that is describing Vrindavan, how beautiful is Vrindavan, especially in the late summer season and then monsoon season or rainy season and then autumn season also. So these are being described in that chapter. So he took the verses from that Bhagavatam and then presented essential lessons, transcendental lessons from that by painting the picture of nature like that. And his vision was that when he goes to the conference, he will have the conference in charge, uh, prepare a book also, print a book also, and they will ask an artist to draw nice paintings for each of these articles like that. That was his thought process. But unfortunately, because he didn't get the sponsorship and necessary funding to go to Japan, even though visa was available because they're ready to sponsor him. So he could not make it. So several years later, after even Prabhupada disappeared from this planet, BBT Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, which publishes Srila Prabhupada books, they commissioned a Chinese artist to make pictures that accompany this book like that. And then they published it as a book. That is what is the background of Light of Bhagavata book. Essentially describing the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam the, with metaphors related to nature, so people can relate to it easily, like that. So this book can be read at a superficial level, or we can go deep dive into each of the philosophical concepts also. Both ways you can read it. So that is the background of this book. Any comments or any questions from anyone before we go to the first section today? Okay, no, then let me go to the first section today. Hope you can see the screen. So who is going to read first today? One of you can read. We'll only read this paragraphs. One small title paragraph, 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. So one of you can read. I need to pick. I think it's Neeraja and Niharika today, I think, right? Who wants to go first? Neeraja, would you like to go first? Or?
Yes, Burji.
Sure. You can read the first two small paragraphs here.
Okay. Text one. The arrival of clouds um, accompanied by thunder and flashes of like lightning um, all over the sky provides a picture of life giving hope covered by deep bluish clouds. The the sky appears hard of,
Artificially?
yeah, dust. Sorry. Um, the the thunder and lightning heighten the clouds are signs of a hope or a new way of life. The the serene sky limitlessly expansive is compared to the absolute truth. The the living entities are the truths manifested in relation with the modes of um, material nature. The a deep bluish cloud covers only an insignificant uh, portion of the limitless sky, and this fractional covering is compared to the quality of uh, the quality of ignorance or um, uh, forgetfulness of the real nature of the living being. A living entity is as pure as the limitless sky. He, he becomes covered by the cloud of forgetfulness. However, in his tendency of or enjoying the material world, because of his sorry, be, because of this quality called uh Thomas uh uh ignorance, he considers himself different from the absolute whole, and forgets his purity, which sorry. Which is light of the clear sky. This forgetfulness gives rise to aphorism in a false ego. Thus, the forgetful having entities individually uh, collectively make sounds like thundering clouds. Um, and I am this. It is ours or it is mine. This mood of false hypertism is called the quality of rajas, and it gives rise to a sorry like a force of or a separate or chip over the mode of tamas. The flash of lightning is the only beam of hope that can lead it on to the path of knowledge, and therefore it is compared with the mode of sattva or goodness. uh, that, uh,
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. Thank you, Neeraj, for reading. Who reads the summarize a little bit, I think, right? Before we proceed to the next person.
yeah, so
Okay.
like there are they're like talking about like the like passion uh hardness and um what and yeah and like sorry, so yeah, there are talking about the three modes of like nature, so
Mm.
which are like uh passion and hardness and like ignorance, so which like I we use like now like in this like this world, and also so wait uh, sorry so yeah, so like we so like I think like in like a different thinking like like y- y- like you are this and you are that, but like you you don't know like the like the truth of like actual like uh yeah, like so basically you don't know like the like uh what did I say? Okay, sorry. But yeah, like so like I hear the he's saying the tendency like for enjoying the this world, so like you like y- so y- you you basically don't think about the truth which is Krishna, but you are just thinking about like here like you're like living and yeah things. So yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, Ruchi.
Yeah, sure, Nija. Thank you so much. Yeah, so briefly, I will cover this. So if you notice, this is actually the whole book is covered. Let me share one more slide. I don't know if it shows up. Can you see my PowerPoint slide also? Not yet. If not, I need to reshare the screen. Okay, let me reshare the screen. So briefly, there are 48 texts in this book. Each text is very, very small. And first three texts are describing about Vrindavan, how it is during the end of the summer, dry summer season. And then next several texts are describing the rainy season or monsoon season, and then the autumn season like that. So dry summer, and then rainy season, and then autumn season like that. That is the overall uh, layout of the book itself. Yeah. So now back to our discussion. So essentially, let me share my screen with that other one again. So back to our discussion. The overall metaphor is that there's a vast sky. In that sky, there is a small portion of the sky is covered with clouds. Okay, let us assume the clear sky. In that vast clear sky, one portion is covered by the clouds. So, and also there is a description about thunder. Thunder means the sound that comes when rain comes sometimes, right? And then lightning, that is also there. So how is this metaphor being used? The vast sky is the supreme Lord, absolute truth, from whom everything is coming, like Krishna. And then within that small portion of the sky, within that sky is a living entities like us. And then the covering of the clouds is like mode of ignorance affecting only the living entities, not the whole Krishna. Only the living entities is affecting. Similarly, thunder is like mode of passion, like Rajoguna, like Nirja was describing. And then lightning is like hope of new life, knowledge. That is mode of goodness or sattva, like that. That's the overall metaphor. So we'll hear more about it. Let's go through next two paragraphs. I think Niharika, you can go through this and we can discuss more also if time permits.
Am I starting at the limitless
Ah,
sky? I think.
yes.
The limitless sky, or the all-pervading absolute truth, or Brahman, is non-different from the covered portion of the sky, but simultaneously the whole sky is different from the fractional portion that is liable to be covered by the dark cloud. The cloud, accompanied by thunder and lightning, cannot possibly cover the limitless sky. Therefore, the absolute truth, which is compared to the whole sky, is simultaneously one with the manifested living being and different from him. The living being is only a sample of the absolute truth and is prone to be covered by the circumstantial cloud of ignorance. There are two parties of philosophers, generally known as the monists and the dualists. The monist believes in the oneness of the absolute truth and the living entity, but the dualist believes in the separate identities of the living being and the absolute truth. Above these two classes of philosophers is the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, or the truth of simultaneous oneness and difference. This philosophy was propounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his explanation of the Vedanta Sutras. The Vedanta is the medium of philosophical interpretations, and thus the Vedanta cannot be the absolute property of any particular class of philosopher. A sincere seeker of the absolute truth is called a Vedantist. Veda means knowledge. Any department of knowledge is called a part of the Vedic knowledge, and Vedanta means the ultimate conclusion of all branches of knowledge. As philosophy is called the science of all sciences, Vedanta is the ultimate philosophy of all philosophical speculations. Excuse me. So, to summarize this one, I think it basically goes off of what Prabhuji was saying earlier about how the whole sky is the the limitless sky is the Brahman, but part of the sky is the manifested living being. And even though, so they talk about the two parties of philosophers, known as the monist and the dualist, where the monist believes that the absolute truth and the living entity are the same, like the limitless sky and the fraction of the sky is the same, but the dualist believes in the separate identities. So saying that the living being is different from the absolute truth. So like Brahman is different from um like just the living beings, the little individual like beings. So they compare that to the sky, and they talk about how Vedanta Sutra is the philosophy propounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it's basically the ultimate philosophy of all philosophical speculations, as they say in the last sentence. So anyone who seeks the knowledge is called a Vedantist because Veda means knowledge. So though that the Vedanta is above both the monist and the dualist. So that's basically um the main the utmost the highest philosophy of everything else, above everything else. That's what I got, Prakash.
Very nice, Niharika. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll briefly share a few points, and after that, it'll be nice to hear from others also what you got from this session. So, from the first session, first paragraph, we got the understanding that how absolute truth is the whole limitless sky in the metaphor. Every metaphor has limitations, okay? But with whatever limitations, Prabhupada is trying to convey the nice philosophy. It is being conveyed by Sukadeva Goswami also in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, if we are covered by ignorance, living entity is covered by ignorance, then what does that mean? Ignorance means, that means we forget that our nature is like Supreme Lord Krishna. That means our nature is Sachidananda Vigraha, eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss, like that. And we forget our relationship with Krishna, and then we think we are this body and we want to enjoy. So then, with that enjoyment mentality, we're forgetting our relationship with Krishna, and then we are thinking this is mine. I'm so and so engineer. I'm so and so architect. This is ours, like that. That is a mode of passion affecting us. And then mode of goodness is uh, if we there's always opportunity to learn higher knowledge, like lightning comes, higher knowledge. That is, knowledge is the characteristics of mode of goodness, so that we can go to the real truth, understand back the real knowledge that I'm part and parcel of Krishna, I'm servant of Krishna, like that. So that's what this is talking about, how we are covered by modes of ignorance and passion and cover and goodness, like that, three modes. Second paragraph is talking about how we as living entity are compared to the small portion of the sky that is covered with clouds. Rest of the portion of the sky is not covered by clouds. So the whole sky is Krishna. We're part and parcel of the sky, like part of the sky that's covered by clouds, like that. So in that sense, we as living entities are prone to be covered by modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness. Like how clouds are covering, we can be covered by ignorance for temporarily. Whereas whole Krishna can never be covered by all the clouds, because sky is so vast. Clouds cannot cover the whole sky like that anytime. So principle here is, in fact, Krishna is the source of the modes of nature. Krishna is the source of living entities also. So Krishna can never be covered by modes of nature. Krishna can never get into ignorance. That's a wrong understanding if somebody gets that understanding that Krishna is covered by ignorance now because he came to this world. Whereas we may be covered by ignorance, like that. So that is one main point being covered here. Some of the Mayavadis don't understand this point. They think if Brahman is coming as Krishna in this world, he's covered by Maya. That's why he's like that. That is incorrect understanding. That is the second point. Third point is talking about how monis, the Sanskrit word for monist is Advaita, and Sanskrit word for dualist is Dvaita. Advaita means one. Dvaita means two. Dvaita, like that. So there's a class of philosophers who say we are same as Krishna. We forgot, like that. They think in fact that is one class. Second class of philosophers is we're completely different from Krishna, like that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when explaining the Vedanta Sutra, what is Vedanta Sutra? After Vyasadeva wrote all the Vedas, he summarized the entire Vedas in like a few hundred statements. Atato Brahma Jignasa, Raso Vai Saha, like that, short statements summarizing the entire Vedic literature. So that is the conclusion of the whole Vedas basically. But when he is explaining the Vedanta Sutra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu summarized it as Achincha Beda Beda Tattva is the right way to understand the relationship between Krishna and us living entities like that. What does that mean? That means Achinta means inconceivable, not easy to understand. Beda means difference. How we are different from Krishna, and Abeda. Abeda means we are non-different from Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying we're simultaneously one with Krishna and simultaneously different from Krishna. How can we understand with this metaphor that is given in this in this article? The metaphor is a whole sky, within the whole sky, part of the sky has the same quality as like the whole sky, right? Like how one small gold piece taken from a gold mine has the same quality as a gold mine, entire gold in the gold mine. Like that, we are one in that quality. But how we are different is in two ways here from this metaphor. One is we are small in quantity compared to the entire limitless sky or absolute truth. Quantity wise, we are different. Number one point. Second point is Krishna as absolute truth can never be covered by modes of nature or prakriti or nature. Whereas we as living entities are prone to be covered by nature. That is how we are different between each other like that. So we're simultaneously one also and different also. You might remember Prabhupada also uses the analogy of sun and sunshine also to explain the same example, same philosophy. So that is the other important point to understand here. Yeah, I'll pause there to see uh, if each of you can share one point that you got from today's session. And then after that, if there are any questions also, we can ask. You can ask. Okay. Any volunteers? Otherwise, I'll pick the volunteer. Okay. Well, let's go alphabetical order. Bashini, would you like to share something?
Yeah,
Something.
Babaji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, yeah, I like how you mentioned that uh, Krishna cannot be covered by the modes of nature, even though he's, coming into our world. He's
Mm.
coming for many different reasons to teach
Mm.
us and to also experience the rasas, but he does not have any modes of nature affecting him. But Babaji, I have one question.
Yeah.
So, is the modes of the natures like the different gunas, are they like I guess Durga? Um,
They're controlled by Durga. Durga has a Trishul. You've seen that three things like that. Three folks are there in a weapon. She has Trishul.
yeah.
So that is representative of modes of nature, and she's
Oh my gosh,
controlling the modes of
really?
nature.
Okay.
She's the leader of modes of nature like that. Well, thank you.
That makes a lot of sense actually. I didn't know about the Trishul until
Uh,
today.
very nice. Thank you for sharing, Bashni. Wonderful point. Bhavya, your turn.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Like, what I got is we are clouded by the material energy, but the divine qualities are also within us because we are part and parcel of Krishna. It is just that we have to invoke them.
Mhm.
Yeah, by just surrendering onto Him and chanting His name.
Wow. Amazing relation, Bhavya. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you,
By
Prabhuji.
practicing devotion service, we can uncover the divine qualities we have inside us, and they will shine up. Yeah, wonderful. Next is I think Nirja. Oh, you shared right when you're reading, but you have some other relation also. Please share. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so like as like how like Krishna is like the controller of like all beings, and so I think like we are being controlled by like Maya. So like if we want to like get like out of this like this place and like go to him, like we have to like we have to like think about like what we are doing, and then yes, and then like once like we are like yeah, so like once we I think about like our like our like issues, then we can go yeah, so like you we can go back to him. Uh,
Mm.
so like yeah, so to like that so like chanting, reading books, and like association and doing things, we can go back to him after. Yeah.
Wow, very nice point, Nirja. Yeah, basically, the I want to underscore something you shared. Essentially, when we understand the difficulties we are going through right now in the material world, the difficulties we are all surrounded by, everybody is surrounded by. When we understand the problem we are in really, then we can look for a solution. And the solution, like you described, is practicing bhakti and surrendering to Krishna, the practice of bhakti. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when you surrender to Krishna, then you can come out of the control of the modes of nature. So because Krishna is the boss, like we are here, modes of nature are here, and then Krishna is here, let us say. Because Krishna is the boss of modes of nature, he will say, go away. Then we are not affected by modes of nature anymore. Wonderful, Neerja. Thank you for sharing. Niharika, you have the second round if you like to share something.
Um, I thought it was interesting to learn about like the monist and the dualist because that was something I hadn't um like specifically heard about before about like how God is like we are one with God, but we're also like then there's like the dualist, which is like we are part and parcel of God, but we're not specifically God. So I thought that was interesting because you do see that like come up a lot where there's different groups of people who like they might say like, oh, I think because I was just reading about it in something else. I think they mentioned it in the last book that we had too, where they were like people who refer to each other as like Narayana because they believe that if
Mm,
you like pray enough, you become God. But then it's like interesting to hear about the dualists who see that like even though we're part and parcel of God, we're not necessarily God. So I think that was very illuminating.
very nice point, Niharika. Yeah, we're qualitatively one with Krishna and part and parcel of Krishna, but still we are different also. Yeah, because quantitatively we are different. Wonderful, nice sharing. Shreya, you get the last turn.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
So I thought to tell, so how you said that Krishna is beyond the modes of this nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. If we take shelter of him, like he will take care of the qualities as well. Yeah, that's what
Mm,
God
very nice.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, that should give us impetus. I want to take sincere shelter of Krishna by whatever I learned, understand. Let me take sincere shelter of Krishna by regularly chanting my rounds every day, by regularly hearing, regularly reading scriptures like you're all doing nicely. Like that, that sincerity Krishna will see. Krishna doesn't see how output of it. Krishna sees the endeavor that we're making. That is the hope for us to get mercy of Krishna. Thank you, Shreya, for sharing that. Okay. I don't know if Govijan Mataji, would you have anything you'd like to share, Mataji? I don't know when you joined, but if you'll have something, please feel free to share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I joined little late. You hear me, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I can hear Mataji.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So it's such a wonderful discussion. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening many aspects, even though it is small thing. But Prabhupada has embedded a lot of, in-depth philosophy in just one paragraph.
Yeah.
That is very enlightening information. Thank you,
Uh,
Prabhuji, for your association and
yeah.
your service. Hare
Sure,
Krishna.
thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing your inspiration of Prabhupada Mate. Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, devotees. We'll all meet again tomorrow. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.